Welcome back to our October webinar here at eTeam Sponsor. I'm your host, Sean Connors, co-founder and CEO. Really excited to get into the season of giving, and this will be our last webinar for 2024. Got some great, new, exciting things to share with you, as well as some of the things that we think can help you raise even more money during a time of year when people are in the giving mood. Really excited to take you through that here today. So, what are you going to walk away with? More best practices, as we always do. We really want to lean into educate and empower. That's one of our mantras here at eTeam Sponsor. Going to walk you through that and specifically how that's going to help two very specific types of organizations. One, club sports, and number two, high school and college winter sports. We're going to talk a little bit today about ensuring fundraising success. We've got our webinar woman, Kayla Johnson, taking you through the best practices, the features, the functions that are going to help you raise more money in less time during the winter and holiday season, as well as here's some of the best practices from some of our current clients. We're going to hear from some of the high school winter sport coaches and things that are going well for them, their experience with us, as well as things for you to think about towards the end of the year. We have giving days, Giving Tuesday, the holiday season. Everyone's got a handout looking to raise money. How can you raise more money than you ever have before with eTeam Sponsor? We're going to cover all that, as well as talk to you a little bit about some of the statistics that drive fundraising during the holiday season. So, as always, here at eTeam Sponsor, our mission is to unlock opportunity through the most trusted fundraising experience, driven by innovative technology and providing exceptional value. One of the things that I love most about our team is where we're headquartered, the tech epicenter of the world. We're able to bring the best features and functions to the fundraising industry. Really proud of our team in terms of what they've accomplished and very excited about where we're headed. I think as we look at raising the most money in the least amount of time, dealing with our reps nationwide, being able to leverage the technology that we create and build for them has really impacted a lot of schools, especially the winter sports at the high school and college level. So we're excited to take you guys through that here today. We've got a panel that's going to be able to share more of their insights and what has worked well for them and ensuring fundraising success. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right on in. We're going to kick it on over to our panel, and here we go.
My name is Corey Wilt. I work at Cardinal Newman High School with the boys soccer team, and I teach PE there as well. This is my second year using you guys, and last year was a big success, and we were able to build towards our goals of being more so financially free to run the program and not have to worry about stressing about funds down the line.
My name is Jerry Lynn. I'm the George C. Marshall High School boys basketball coach and assistant athletic director here. I'm going to my 5th year as the head coach at our basketball program. I've used eTeam Sponsor every year since.
Yeah, Corey, let's start with you. Maybe just first you can talk to us a little bit about what was it like in terms of the ease of use of our system, whether it's our people, our product, the process that we put in place. How was the ease of use?
It was really easy. Our sales rep, Bailey Mundy, helped us out, extensively. And we just put everybody in a classroom and have him explain everything step by step and go through the process with all the players. And they would sit there, do it right then and there. They would have their form already pre-filled out, and we watched the money. We started ours yesterday, and we watched the money start rolling in before we even left the classroom to go out and train yesterday. So it's really easy system to use, and it's great for the parents. Love it too, because they could just send it on to grandma and grandpa up north, and it's very easy for them to use. So
$4,000 in that 30 minutes. Nice job. Not bad. Jerry, we'll turn it over to you. Talk to us about the ease of use. What has the experience been like for you?
Well, this is probably the easiest fundraiser I've ever been a part of. Our manager or eTeam representative, Teddy Bardash, he makes life easier for us. He comes in, meet with our program kids, really just setting up with a sheet that's pre-filled. Kids put it in their cell phone, laptop with addresses all ready to go. It takes no more than 15 minutes at the top. Teddy makes our life easier for sure. And then the automated system just makes my life easier as a coach. All I have to do is just keep track of the amount of being donated to our account because the finance part of it, our booster and the E team has a string line of it. So for me, I do very minimum. I tell our coaches all the time in our athletic department that this is the best and the easiest fundraiser you can possibly go with. Thankfully enough that they do listen to me. Marshall High School was the highest uh, highest e-team sponsor fundraiser this past year. I think we raised over $124,000 as a program to lead our state. So we're really proud of that. But we also think that this is probably the best fundraising program there is out there.
What did you
Yes.
guys do with the funds that you raised last year?
So we bought practice shirts. We got new balls this year, new nets for our practice field, as well as new jackets for the team this year as well. So it was pretty much covered all our practice gear.
Yeah, we're doing a lot with that actually. So we as a program, boys basketball program, we raised about 50,000 now in the last 4 years. What we've done with that, we travel. We travel all 3 seasons, the last 3 years. In our program, we actually have 8 different uniforms. I think all 8 uniform was purchased by our program using the eating fundraising money. And because of that, we're able to do a lot of things that promote our program across the board in our community and our school. It makes our players look good out on the court. It's a popular sport that everybody want to join in. Having a strong fundraiser like this, it allows us to do a lot of things and makes life easier as a coach.
The last question for you would be just best practices, in terms of success towards a fundraising effort. Was there anything that you picked up on, working with Bailey through our product and that process? Was there any best practices that really stood out to you that you would recommend sharing with, either other e-team sponsor clients or people that are looking to get on board?
The one thing that I noticed was you have to do one of those little intro videos because I was comparing it with other programs in our school and they didn't do an intro video. And, when the aunts, uncles, grandparents look at it, be like, oh, wow, they actually care. They're trying to do things the right way. And that definitely helps and goes a long way. Even if it's just a short 10 to 15-second video, definitely helps when it comes down to it.
Yeah, we're approaching 80% of the fundraisers and campaigns that launch with a video reach or exceed their goal. So
Hmm.
the video definitely, like you said, grandma, grandpa, aunts and uncles, the family across the country or wherever they are across the globe, when they get to see grandson, granddaughter, niece, nephew, whoever it is, they get to see their face on that video. It tugs on the heartstrings a little bit, and definitely you see the return in the donation. So great, thank you for sharing that.
As Corey mentioned earlier, I think that having that promo video, set up with your players, that's a really I don't know, somewhere between a 15 to 45-second blurb that you can have a lot of fun with your players. And then you can really represent your kids out to the families. With grandpa or uncles that's out of state, they get to say a little bit of insights about what our team's about. And as a result, it promotes the fundraiser itself. So if you ask me, I think having a good promo videos and some sort of kids participating in a fun and dynamic sort of way, I think it helps and goes a long way.
That's awesome. That's great. One more question for you. I know we talked a little bit before we started recording in terms of the nature of your role. There's a lot of public high schools out there. And I think there's a lot of people that, if they're watching here today and they say, wow, okay, what's Jerry's role? What's his title? You wear 7 different hats. You're not just the boys basketball coach, but you're an assistant AD. You teach a number of different classes, leadership, resource, all sorts of things. How important is identifying, or I guess partnering with a program like E-Team Sponsor that's going to help you raise the most money in the least amount of time, so that way you can stay focused on the things that you got into your profession for in the first place?
Yeah, and that's a very that's a good question. Because for me, I think time's valuable, right?
Yeah.
So like with our coaches who, not all of them obviously do this professionally for their living. They only have a certain amount of time they can spend in other areas. And fundraiser is big for any athletic program and teams. But eating allow us to be efficient with our time. It's very easy to put together. Kids get involved, and their family does too as well. I just think it's a no-brainer for our teams. Any sort of new coaches that comes in our athletic program, that's the first thing that I promote with them, because our partnership has been so beneficial for our teams here, and the amount of required to maintain this fundraising isn't that much at all. Is absolutely worthwhile. So for me, that's my message to any programs out there. You got to have resources, and E-Team provides that for us, especially on the financial aspect of it, with in a manner of professionalism that makes our program looks good.
That's great. I appreciate you sharing that. And, I think it speaks to, there's people that are listening right now, as we produce this, it's looking at, hey, you're a public high school, you're in the, what do we call that? The DC Metroplex, or
Yeah, DMV,
yeah,
DMV.
DMV, you're in the DMV. Um, and looking at, hey, you're a public school. You guys have utilized both of our products. You guys started out on our Team Funder product, which is the revenue share product, and you guys saw a lot of success, and you guys then made the investment, which, for
Correct.
public high schools, we're seeing more and more do this, where they're saying, look, we're going to make the investment into the Fundraiser platform so that, one, we can be in control of the funds, we get access to our money faster, but we also get to keep a larger, the largest percentage possible of every single donation that comes in. For a public high school to have raised $400,000 in the last handful of years, that's fairly remarkable. How, is that, take us kind of through that a little bit. Have you been talking to the other coaches on the campus? Has that been in partnership with Ted? What is that conversation been like to get the number of programs on your campus to jump on board?
Well, it helps that for Teddy, he's always available, and he's super fast in getting back to us. So the customer support part of it has been wonderful because our coaches who has no idea doing it for the first time, they get a lot of support for our
Yeah.
regional rep in that way. With our booster who basically make this transition into having this e-team fundraiser. They pay out a certain percentage in the beginning of that, which makes us as coaches life easier because we don't have to worry about certain percentage, kickback or anything like that. Our booster handles that, and we in turn in the last 2 years, that's our biggest ask as coaches to our booster. We're like, hey, can you make this investment for us so that every other coaches in our program can have this fundraiser with 100% kickback into our account. That has been a game changer for all of us here. And I think as a result, the last 2 years, the participation in our athletic program just skyrocketed from everybody since then. It's been probably the best investment our booster has made for our athletic program.
Yeah, and to be clear, your booster club made that worthwhile investment.
Yes.
You were on average raising around $80,000 a year across the athletic department when you were on Team Funder, which is that
Yep.
traditional, 80/20 revenue share. They decided to make the investment into our Fundraiser subscription, and boom, you guys went up to last academic year, you guys raised $125,000. And just right now through the fall, you guys are already halfway. You're already
Yep.
over 65,000. So you guys are definitely well on your way. You can see as we call it here, the Fundraiser effect. It definitely, it makes a difference. And I think hearing that from you and your coaches, it's that, hey, look, we know we're keeping more. Great. We're invested. Let's go do this. Let's go raise some money. So awesome to
Definitely.
hear that. Awesome to hear that. I think last thing I would say for both yourself and then Corey, if you want to pop back on as well, I'd love to just get your sense for, hey, if there were things that, as you guys have gone through this now, what are the things that you would tell a non-e-team sponsor client? So whether that's Corey, you walking down the hall at Cardinal Newman and talking to another coach who maybe isn't fundraising, or Jerry, whether it's that or maybe even somebody at another school, maybe a peer. Um, what would you say to somebody that isn't using this, that's thinking about doing this type of digital online fundraising?
So I was actually just having the same conversation that we're just having now about this with our girls soccer coach. He's new at the school this year,
Okay,
and
cool.
I told him, I said, I think you guys should use eTeams. It's so easy to use. It takes less than an hour to get started, and it's the easiest way to fundraise. There's not an easier way to fundraise in high school sports, like
That's
Jerry
awesome.
said. And so I passed on the information to him. He's hopefully going to get his meeting set up very soon. So
Good. Good.
it's
We'll look to see him in the application here soon. That's great. Well, we
mhm,
appreciate you sharing that. Easy is what we hear often. So
mhm.
that's great. And I think that's our goal. We want to make sure that people can trust that they're going to have a good experience here, that our technology is going to help drive and make this as easy and effective as it can be. So, Jerry, how about yourself?
Yeah, besides what Corey said, obviously about being so easy to use and time management part of it is so efficient. But I will go with for me, I think the digital platform, the presentation is so professional. When you used to do the old school system like email or letter campaign, that was the prehistoric system where you used it gets really, sloppy and, really difficult. And I just really like the professionalism of having this sort of presentation that's digitalized and it's easy for everybody to send that, information back at home to our family and community supporter. I really enjoy that. I think that makes us look good as a program. Maybe I have my athletic, director hat on, but I like the stuff like that. It makes us look good as a school.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's we hear that often, that being able to match the brand, the institution's brand, is important, and I think that's something that it's good for people that are maybe looking at jumping on board. Is, can we match their brand that they have? And the answer is yes. And I really like both color schemes for the school. So blue and gold, and then you guys got the red and the almost like the baby blue, or Tar Heel blue. What are your thoughts on raising money this time of year? Because of this, the nature of, you're getting into the holiday season, you're getting into a lot of the, the really large nonprofits, March of Dimes, those types of programs that are out there, that are raising money, and we're competing for a fundraising dollar. Do you guys have any thoughts on that, that you would be willing to share?
Just off the top of my head, because we are a Catholic school as well. It is sometimes tough
Yeah.
because we are competing with that. But we always ask. We don't push. We just ask, and whatever they could give, they could give, and we appreciate whatever the donors give. So
Got it. Yeah, it's a tough one, right? It's like, you know, do you fundraise? Yes or no? It's good to hear people are still getting out there and doing it. We did actually see that more and more people are doing that, as opposed to, well, I'm going to sit on the sidelines and wait this out. Maybe not a good time to raise money. We're actually seeing that the results actually can be just as good. People are going to earmark dollars for the people that they want to support, and so that's great to hear that you guys are still doing it, and making that an opportunity. Jerry, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I piggyback on what Corey says. Our school demographic, even though well, we're a public school, but we got apartment kids and kids in need of financial support. Sometimes when we have these whether it's team meals before the game or the day before it, and when we travel and kids can't afford that part of it, these fundraiser becomes really crucial for us to have the support of these student athletes.
Yeah.
I'm feel very fortunate that our community has supported that, especially during holiday season where everybody is in obviously in a holiday spirit and giving mode. But that part of it really impacts a school like ours, and it's been tremendous in terms of supporting our kids.
That's great. That's awesome. Good. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on and doing this.
My name's Ben Canfield. I work at Grand Canyon University. I've been here for about 9 years, and I currently am the director of bowling and our club sports development manager.
I'm trying to remember now. When did we all start working together? Was this like 5 years ago?
I think it was 2018,
2018, so 6 years.
2019 year. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. First thing, we just kind of wanted to jump in and start asking some questions, maybe about the importance to you and your development role for club sports and activities in speaking to other people that are in your similar role at other institutions. Why has e-team sponsor and this relationship been so important to your funding model?
Yeah, it's been awesome. We kind of took a leap on it in 2018 and we're like, this is great. And it's so low effort. A majority of our teams, if they fully participate in an e-team sponsor campaign, they don't have to do any additional fundraisers to help complement their budget. And so that in itself is the message that we preach to our teams. And it's been super successful. And so on my end, you know, my job is to help teams buy new gear and travel to nationals and do unique things, right? We have over 40 different club sports and everyone is, I learn new stuff every week about, hey, what these teams get to do and what they need.
Yeah,
And so having a successful fundraising model allows us to support them in a much more efficient way than trying to create, different fundraising campaigns for each sport throughout the season.
cool. And you said 40, so 40 club sports. That's wild.
Yeah.
How many student athletes is that?
About 2,000.
Whoa.
We don't have final numbers for this year yet. I think last year we were right around 2,000 students.
How has club, or I guess the overall just kind of familiarity or popularity of the school, how has that impacted club sports for you?
Yeah, well, I think our model is for club sports is recruiting based, right?
Yeah.
So the more students that are naturally coming to the school, like the more students we're able to serve in club sports, and a lot of our teams offer a unique opportunity to compete at a really high level. And so they see the campus, they see, what's out there from a, just student life perspective. And they're like, oh, I could go play, you know, club hockey, club bowling, lacrosse, whatever, rugby, whatever it may be, compete at a really high level, get a great campus experience. And yeah, so I think the overall growth of the school is, it's a win-win for both sides from an
Yeah,
admission standpoint and then from the product that we're able to offer our students.
that's huge, man. That's huge. So tell us about some of those. I know before we started recording, you'd mentioned some of the things that your student athletes and club programs have been able to do. The money that they're raising, what is that allowing them to do? Where are they going?
All over the place. So we were talking about how our D1 club hockey program got to play a couple exhibition games with two NCAA programs from Alaska, right? So we used some residual fundraising dollars from last year to help them get there. Uh, we have teams like rugby, which compete under USA Rugby, and I'll tout my program bowling. On the men's side, we compete at the highest level of the sport, and so we're traveling out to other parts of the country, to play for national championships that you can't get any higher than that. And so it's really cool to see teams go out there. Right? Our pickleball is one of the largest growing sports um, in the world, probably.
Yeah.
And so pickleball is only a couple years old, and there's a lot of opportunities for them. And so having a sufficient fundraising balance for them to go to nationals. They're going to nationals in Dallas this week, and they're taking 16 kids. And if you would have told me that 2 years ago, I'd have been like, that probably not going to happen, but it's happening.
That's awesome.
So,
That is great. Well, congratulations. I mean, and again, I think as we look at this and how aligned we are as a company with, the clients like yourself, look, we know what the world looks like, society looks like when you've got more student athletes having gone through that type of experience, high school and or college, and the positive impact that they play in society when they're done, right? And so, whereas I think a lot of students coming out of high school that maybe see that their postgraduate or college, we'll say student experience may not necessarily include athletics in the traditional sense. There's still the club side of that, which is growing, at a great rate. It's awesome to see more and more schools really investing and developing those types of programs, much like you guys have at Grand Canyon, because that's 2,000 more students that, okay, yeah, maybe they're not going to play at a traditional, four-year college athletic department program, but now they can participate in the club program and, like you said, get equal or maybe even a better student athlete experience in that realm. So that's awesome to hear, man. That's great. That fills our cup. That's a great
Yeah.
deal. In terms of just your experience, we always like asking this question too. Your experience may be different than somebody else. And what we always like to share with non-clients, people that don't work with eTeam Sponsor, kind of pull the curtain back a little bit. What is it like working with us? Maybe talk about your experience, whether it's with our people. You've seen our product grow from 2018 to what you experience in our product now, our processes. Kind of share with people maybe that aren't familiar with eTeam Sponsor. What's your working relationship like been with us?
I mean, it's awesome, right? We wouldn't have been with you guys for so long if it wasn't. And I think there's a great like familial type relationship, even though, we don't talk all the time, right? Which is good because it means there's no issues. But every time that I reach out to one of the staff members, like I get a quick response, right? You guys are in town. You always make it a point to stop by and say hi in person, right? So I know that like if I need something, like I'm gonna get a response quick and it's gonna be resolved, as quick as it can be. And so that is reassuring to me and my coaching staff here at the school. And we're looking forward to many more years of that relationship. And the product this year with new things that have rolled out have been great. Like I think things like the family share and just the ability on the org admin side for that to be to get some UI upgrades and stuff. Like it's made my life so easy to be able to just go on and look and say, hey, we got 40 campaigns running, like how's this team doing, and check in on them. So it's been really good. And I could talk for a while longer, but
Yeah, no, that's great,
not
man. We
sure
love
that's
hearing.
needed.
Yeah, no, that's great. We appreciate it. And like I said, I think it's important for us to be able to share those things with people that are thinking about it, especially during like the winter. There's a lot of people that kind of, look, I want to get this done at the beginning of the fall, and they might sit what we would consider like holiday season out from fundraising. But you guys have been very successful. You guys are, you've raised over almost $1.7 million for Grand Canyon since we've partnered with you guys. And we've seen you guys traditionally raise money in the fall, but it transcends the fall and into the winter. And that's been important. Has there been a working relationship with maybe another area of your campus where they've needed to be involved in the product or reporting, anything like that that you could speak to that's helped, people that maybe need to approve things or have access? Maybe can you speak to some of the successes there?
Sure. Yeah, we're connected with our advancement department on campus, and so one of the directors over there has access to all of the reporting on that side of things. And one of the things that's been really successful for us the past few years is we have organized all of our launch dates for the majority of our program around the school's day of giving. And so we set that up for our email campaigns to launch and be so that we can be a part of the concerted effort that the team is on campus from the advancement department is making. And it's great. Like we're always the top or one of the top earners leading up to and on that day. And so it's been cool to be able to do what we need to do in a way that also shows that, hey, we're working with everybody and
Yeah, you're aligned. Yeah, that's
doing
huge.
our best to align with the university's goals as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's where I think, look, if you're, somebody that's out there that's watching that's not working with eTeam Sponsor and you're in the club sports realm, if you're sitting a similar seat to Ben, I think those are some of the key takeaways, right? Is that, hey, there's an application that's It's centralized. It creates the comprehensive, we'll say, features and functions that are needed to align and organize various groups on campus to make sure we're all rowing in the same direction. It can be built around a giving day. It can really be built around any way that they need to that supports the strategy for raising money for the school. So that's awesome to hear, and thanks for sharing that, Ben. I guess last thing would just be, hey, somebody's not using us. If you had a conversation with them, somebody sitting in your seat, what would you tell them?
I would say give it a shot. It's worth the investment. I'm glad it was the first thing that my boss and I decided to try, right? And the value is there. It's made my life very simple from being put in charge of this as a young administrator, and so I think it doesn't make sense to not give it a shot. Like, the proof is in the results that we've been able to put out there. And so, yeah, that's my biggest recommendation.
Well, good. Well, we appreciate you popping on. We'll let you get to your next meeting. And again, thank you for, all of the trust and support with us. And yeah, man, we're looking forward to helping you continue to raise as much money as possible, man.
Sounds great. Appreciate
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Yep. Have a good
All
one.
right, take care.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Johnson, and I'm the Client Solutions Manager here at eTeam Sponsor. I'm so excited to highlight some of our features today that will help your program raise the most amount of money in the least amount of time. With innovation being one of our core values here at eTeam Sponsor, we take pride in constantly striving to find a better way while providing our clients with every tool they need to raise the most amount of money for their program. One way we do this is through our branding and personalization capabilities. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as I talk through this so you can also follow along and see the ways that we allow you to personalize and customize your landing pages. We know how important it is for all of you to have institutional branding on your program and organization landing pages, as well as in messaging to your potential supporters. When running a fundraiser with eTeam Sponsor, you have all the capabilities you need to customize your landing pages, whether that be the wording in your general messaging, what your program is fundraising for, adding your program or organization specific logo, and also uploading your team or organization specific video. We even provide the ability for you to create a branded custom QR code for your program or organization. And actually, as of this week, we have also added the ability for an individual participant to create their own custom QR code, which would be linked to their landing page, making it easier than ever for them to share their fundraising campaign. So this is what it'll look like for a participant. They have all the ways to share their fundraiser. The branded QR code is now an option on the participant level, and they can customize this as they choose. Download it, it saves as a PNG file, and it's theirs to share. This type of customization goes beyond our landing pages and is also a huge factor in successful messaging to your potential supporters. After participating in a launch meeting with eTeam Sponsor, our system writes, customizes, and sends 4 rounds of automated emails over 35 days. Unlike other crowdfunding options, we send these emails from a customized participant email address, not from a random company email address that allows your potential supporters to potentially ignore that email, and that's assuming it even gets delivered. Our email deliverability rate surpasses 95%, with our open rate well above 60%. For reference, market research shows a good standard open rate for an email is 17 to 28%. As soon as a potential supporter donates, they do not receive any more automated emails from us, besides a thank you and a receipt to take to their tax professional. This is how we avoid donor fatigue. At eTeam Sponsor, we don't just focus on the program or organization experience, but the donor experience as well. The last thing I want to touch on is just how easy and quick it is to launch a fundraiser with eTeam Sponsor. All of us that work here are either current or former coaches, as well as athletes, so we understand how much you have going on during your season and how much you have on your plate. I hear all the time from my clients, how soon can we get this up and running? I have 1,000 things going on. Oftentimes, fundraising is the last thing you want to worry about, but it's also extremely necessary, especially given the current landscape. From setting up your fundraiser during the quick launch tutorial to launching your program, we're talking less than an hour of work collectively and raising thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. Let us take fundraising off your plate this year Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Kayla. Great to see how Kayla has grown into her role as our webinar woman, taking us through the tools that are going to help ensure you have the most successful fundraising you possibly can during the winter season. I want to say thank you to our panelists. Thank you for providing the insights and really just sharing your experiences. We know that sharing the stories of our clients is really the most impactful piece of content that we can create. So thank you for leaning into that with us, taking time out of your, no doubt, busy schedules, and sharing what your experience has been like working with eTeam Sponsor. So thank you to all of you. So for those of you that are currently clients with eTeam Sponsor, like we always say, hey, hopefully you're able to walk away with something today that's been impactful or meaningful that you can now go apply as you look at raising money here during the winter season. For those of you that are non-clients, haven't decided to jump on board yet, we trust today that we're able to give you some insights into what it's like to be a client at eTeam Sponsor, what our product can do for you, and then kind of marry all that together with our people and our product and our processes that gives you the confidence that, hey, eTeam Sponsor could be the right fit for us when it comes to choosing a fundraising partner. So for those of you that want to learn more and be involved with our webinar series as we get into 2025, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow us on social media. As always, if you'd like to reach out to us and learn more, you guys can go ahead and click on the link below. Go ahead and fill out some quick information, and we'll have one of our representatives get back to you as soon as possible and answer any and all questions that you have. As we look to wrap up 2024, I want to say thank you to Anya Gomez for doing a great job of creating all of this wonderful content in our webinar series here in 2024. That has no doubt allowed us to showcase why being elite and fundraising more happens right here at eTeam Sponsor. So for our final send-off of 2024, I'm your host, Sean Connors, co-founder and CEO with eTeam Sponsor, wishing everyone a great holiday season. And as always, be elite, fundraise more.